All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Happy Friday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Good morning, buddy. I'm doing well. It does not feel like Friday since we had the short week here.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. So, finishing up a short week here in the market, last day of trading. Let's see what we have today. So yesterday,
All
our
right. Good morning,
our
everyone. Welcome
gappers
to the
list.
pre-market
Let
show.
me
Hope
mute this
everyone.
here. Our gappers list was just incredible. It was just way too much stuff on there. I didn't even completely fine tune my list before the market opened. I had stuff all over the place. So I'm just gonna go over a few. Not gonna go over everything because it's way too much. But I'm gonna go over some of the top plays we had. I'm just gonna zoom here on our 1 minute. Space was not one of them. I think space was very choppy. Um, let's just get in here on our 1 minute, and then we have our five over here. Kind of see how things traded out yesterday. Um, Now that I have space up, you can see space here. It's just very choppy. Really nothing clean about it. Yesterday morning, you did get this sell down right back up. You don't get an engulfing pattern here that can gives you a continuation. Kind of sells right back down to the VWAP again. So again, nothing really clean in that area there. So that was space. Next we had what was the one that was really good? It was LK. Where's LK? Okay, was really nice. This was a trade that Andrew took, and a few of you guys did as well. But this was a beautiful trade. Look at this engulfing pattern here on the one. Now, engulfing on the one is not as strong, but the fact that it sells down, comes above the VWAP, then third candle, third 1 minute candle here gives you a nice indication that it's going to hold the VWAP. And look how nice this thing just takes off, right? So Andrew got in perfectly on this trade right in here. If you have not seen his recap from yesterday, definitely check that out. And then just took off from there. Very nice, all the way up to this these levels we had here. Comes back down, tests the nine, holds the nine. You get two tests of the nine here, right here, and not the nine, but the 20, but this level where the nine tested comes back down, tests that one more time, and then goes for the high of the day again, ripping up nicely here. So also be cautious, guys. This stock has been strong, so you do get this kind of double top on the 1 minute. Two things about double tops on the 1 minute: they're not as strong. So try to look for that type of strategy on the 5 minute. It's a better chance and opportunity to actually be a short or change in direction, right? So here's you get a double top on the one, not as strong, continues nicely, heading higher, breaking the high of the day. Another one that traded well, I believe, was it Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla took some time to get going. It kind of the first two candles were really indecisive candle, but then as normal fashion, have we seen from Tesla, sells down and then takes off from the VWAP. Now here's the entry for Tesla. You have to wait for it to break above the VWAP, come back down, retest this entry here, and then take off, right? So you always want to wait for that retest. Sometimes you're not going to get the retest, and it's going to leave without you guys. It's okay, that happens, but most often than not, we do see this retest come back. It's just kind of confirmation. Okay, are we really going to break out here? Is thing going to take off? And that does happen there. Yeah, Netflix was another one as well. Netflix, again, pre-market, not great as usual. Netflix has that type of pre-market. But also, look at this candle. We talked about this candle quite a bit, right? This is the indecision candle here on the first 5 minute. So right now, nobody's in control, not the buyers or the sellers. The next candle is going to say a lot of what happens here, right? So basically, you got volume and you have a candle. There's no decision being made on who's in control. When the next candle takes off, this pattern I see quite a bit, and I think there could be a good entry. As soon as it takes over the high of the previous candle or shows any type of strength, I think the sellers here might just bail out. Again, we see this quite often. We talk about it quite a bit. We haven't put anything together in regards to this strategy, but we're definitely going to keep looking for that and see what we can put together there. So it takes off nicely, nice, beautiful pop towards the high of the day, and then just strong for the rest of the day. If you had a great entry anywhere around here, you would have survived this pullback and you would have taken advantage of a beautiful move, breaking the high of the day, and then just continues to rip higher. So again, Netflix are trading very well. NIO was a trade I took yesterday for a long here. This one again sold off really nice, gave a very huge pullback here on the 5 minute. I got in a little early. If you look at saw my recap, I got in around here. Should have really waited for a better confirmation, but I did like that this pulled back. This thing, the second candle was heading right back up on the 5 minute, so that gave me like a good indication this thing was going to be strong and squeeze up. So just to name a few, guys, we got our big gap list already, so we're not going to go through all this, but again, we had a lot that traded very well and clean yesterday. Nor in regards to the market and the SPY, what do we have going on today? Anything exciting?
Nothing exciting, my man. I'll be quick as our gappers is big, and I anticipate it'll continue to grow as we go on. But SPY's sitting up here against all-time highs right now. This morning, we're up about 0.25%, tiny bit more than that. as far as economic data this morning, all we really all we really have are.
Hey Norm, think I lost you?
You there?
Yep, now I got you.
Okay. Uh, the, can you guys hear me in the room?
Yeah, you know
I'm breaking up.
yeah, you're breaking up. You came in and out. You good now. Give it a shot.
All right. So spies up.
Yeah, Norm, something's up. So we'll wait till Norm refreshes. Hit the maybe something with refreshing, reloading, and then we'll just get to our gapless list. We'll see what the spy has for us in a bit. All right, so let's get into this list here, guys. Let's make some room. So now BLDP. This one was active yesterday. Let's see how I actually traded. I didn't keep it on my list. It's one that I took off of all the ones that we actually had to watch yesterday. Let's look at our 5 minute here. So this morning doesn't have the great pre-market activity. Yesterday it didn't really do much. Looks like. And then gap down, it's kind of I don't know what the price action looked like, but it didn't look like it moved a lot or traded very well. And that's what you typically get on these type of stocks. Norm was talking about this one that we have watched before in the past. So right now I'm not liking the pre-market activity. I am not going to watch this one. I think I'm gonna pass on this one as well, just because of the type of stock it is and how choppy it can be. I'm just gonna leave this out of my list this morning. INTC, this is nice. We traded this one before in the past very successfully. They have a nice gap up here, 4.9 this morning, 1.3 million shares traded so far. So this is very nice. I do love the daily chart at the moment. See how this beautiful resistance area here, we broke out of that 2 days ago, maintained it, right? Sometimes you have these beautiful breakouts and you get a pullback here and you start doing another chop, creating a new highs and lows, for, after you get a pop like this, but, maintained it. And now we have a gap of 5%. So
Somebody knew something going into earnings with that.
I'm sorry?
Somebody knew something going into earnings the last 3 days.
I agree, man. This doesn't make sense. So the earnings was this is because of earning this gap here, correct?
Yeah, they blew their earnings away last night.
Yeah, so somebody's got some really future goggles there. I got in pretty early on this. So this is
Yep.
a nice gap, 4.8 with some really good volume. Pre-market activity is a little bit wild, which is okay for INTC. We tend to see that, but I love the way this is gapping up. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one with some nice volume there. So let's take a look at BYND.
Beyond the meat.
There we go. BYND, guys, this morning it is up 3.7. It's getting a little wild on the daily, but I gotta say though, some of the moves has been pretty clean in the intraday. Although this looks wild here, if you look at the intraday trades, they have been looking pretty clean. I did not see what it did yesterday, so let's take a look at how it traded yesterday. Let's go back over here. So a nice sell-off here, and then found a base 113 from there. Well, nice, beautiful VWAP reversal, and then held it cracked above the VWAP, held it, and then became another pop here. So again, that's not a bad. It's not the best. We've seen obviously way better, cleaner charts, but for this type of stock, that's actually pretty decent. For BYND. So this morning they are up 3.5. They got some decent volume already, 186,000 shares traded. Just be careful trading this in the pre-market, guys. I know it seems tempting, to trade stuff in the pre-market, especially when it's moving, especially when you know the potential. But it's just so hard to read the price action. It's almost the price action is really unreadable. There's not enough flow going on here in the timing sales. You don't have enough information on the level two. So just be very cautious in trading stuff, pre-markets. Getting toppy here, 124.10 is a level that we have. But we do have some room to 131 and 135. So love the way BYND is setting up right now. It could have a lot of room to get to this 135 or 131. Where are we getting this 131.79? It probably was a pre-market high or something on this day here. All right, next let's look at SBGL. What do we have on SBGL? SBGL, not the greatest pre-market activity. Well, not great at all. Very nasty, actually. Has 101,000 shares traded. I'm not sure what kind of stock this is. Doing business as
This
something
is a
else.
South African gold. This is a South African gold stock.
Oh, okay, here we go.
It's yeah.
Yeah, so nothing good with that. We'll get rid of this one. Doesn't trade very well. The pre-market is looking horrible as well. NVAX continues to hit this gappers list. What do we have going on with them today? Now this is 26 million shares float. Let's see how they traded yesterday. Let's see how actually the action was. Yeah, the action is just trades very wild, guys. So a huge sell-off here, comes right back up. Could have been a nice VWAP reversal, but again, these VWAP reversal trades are very tough to take if you don't get a good pattern indication. This one happens right away, sells off that first 5 minute, comes right back up, and again, just this is just not clean, guys. So I'm gonna keep it on here, but it's not a stock that I might watch. I'm gonna put it down here as a possible. I just don't like the way this one trades. I'd rather watch less stocks today if I have to than watch something that I'm just not comfortable with the way the price action is. You have to be picky with the watch list. With your watch list, you want to be picky and only watch things that are going to give you the best possible opportunity. AXP here. Let's look at the daily. What do we have? And the 5 over here. So right now we got a decent pre-market activity. We got some volume. We're up 2%. We did break out of this area here. Oh, American Exchange. I saw a tweet on this. I think they had earnings. Um,
American Express, yeah, they had
Express,
earnings.
yes. Thank you. So yeah, so they had earnings, and I guess they're doing very well. And I'm here blowing things out of the water.
Yeah, they had pretty good earnings this morning. Their revenue was essentially in line, but they beat on their earnings. So,
All right, excellent. So definitely worth.
oh, and that was because of strong holiday sales. So,
Okay, yep. So definitely looking very good here at the moment. Again, not a stock that trades very well. You could tell by the daily already how choppy this can be, and you know how it's these banking stocks, these financial stocks, they're huge. They don't move. They don't move well. But with earnings and a possible catalyst today, a positive catalyst today, we probably can get a move out of AXP. So we'll keep that on here. Next we have Snap. Let's see what Snap is up to. What's the price on Snap now? Snap is continues to make new highs, new recent highs. So Snap is up this morning 2.4. We have 165,000 shares traded at the moment. So we got some good volume out of Snap. Pre-market activity is not great, and you know my thoughts on Snap. I think it's a very choppy and difficult stock to trade. You're going to get the volume, but the moves are not. It doesn't move very well. This surprise is going back a couple of days where we were stuck at 17, and it did give us some really good moves and some good pops. I remember this pop here. We took a trade here for a nice squeeze and then just kind of sold off. So we did have some good moves out of it. Again, we'll have to see how the open is, how the pre-market continues to get. Right now, the pre-market is not looking good at all. It seems very choppy. But again, Snap is one of those stocks that just doesn't trade very well. It's definitely not one of my favorites. SYF. SYF this morning, what we have here. So this is down 5.2, 107,000 shares traded. A little bit choppy pre-market. Oh, this is a banking stock too. This is a
yep.
financial stock. Yeah. So this is earnings, Nora, I'm assuming as well.
Yeah, and they actually beat their top and bottom line, but they're down. So I haven't really dug into it. I've
Yep.
traded SYF in the past. Frankly, it doesn't trade very well, so I'm not digging into it too deep today.
Yeah, gotcha, man. So this is down 5.7. I do like the drop, right? When you have this nice drop here, 5.7, and you find an area of support, you can get some moves out of this, either long or short. If we lose this here, this can run nicely to the next area of support, which can be right on around here. Or if it can bounce from here and come back up, start closing this gap a little bit, maybe head over to 35. So again, we'll keep it on here. We'll take a look at it. Pre-market's not looking all that great. I don't expect it to get any better with this type of stock and the way these banking financial stocks really trade. They don't move much. So that's my thoughts on this one. I think it might not be a great one this morning. All right, let's go over to NASDAQ active NASDAQ gainers, TBLT. Penny stock, we'll skip that one, trading at 14 cents. Eric is always on here, but that's also one that doesn't trade very well. Yep. Foreign has a nice drop here, 6.9. But again, just look at this daily. Just look how choppy and nasty this is. So I'm just gonna get rid of that one. CODX. This one also another penny stock. We have seen this one before in the past. Doesn't trade very well. Had a nice big day. Yes, it gapped up nicely and basically sold off. Not expecting much out of this one today. It has 1.4 million shares traded. It is down 18.7. But again, nothing fancy about the stock. TNXP, another one that's very well known on our list here. And actually, the daily looks like it might want to break out and test this 225 up here. But again, it's a pharmaceutical company. These lower price stocks can be very well manipulated into pump and dump situations. This is 700. This is correct. This is 716,000 on the float. So again, I don't think it can be that low. So I'm assuming it's gonna be 1 million to 2 million or so. It's still a very low flow stock. You just want to be cautious with these type of stocks here. Next we have INTC. We have on our list AMD. We do not have. Let's look at AMD. Oh, AMD is nice. 780 already. Selling off a bit here, but I really like the pre-market on AMD. The volume is amazing. It is gapping up, but we kind of giving some back here after this gap up. So we'll see. We have some good support on here that we have broken out of. So definitely AMD is one that I want to watch this morning. That volume is exactly what we like to see here. INO. INO at the moment 779,000 shares traded. Not the greatest pre-market activity for that type of volume. You would like to see something like AMD. Look at the AMD's pre-market activity, right? You got some flow to it, you got some movement. This one here has all that volume, but it's not really doing much. Very choppy in this area here. So if we look at NIO, what is the flow for this? It's a 90 million shares flow, so it's not a low flow stock. But again, more sitting in that area of the NVAX type stocks. He's from, I think it's a pharmaceutical as well, right? Yeah, these pharmaceutical
Yeah,
companies.
this one's on the coronavirus stuff.
Oh, this is what this is. Oh, so yeah, depending how this goes. And actually, I think there was an outbreak here, or a case at least here in New Jersey. So things are really starting to heat up with that news. So maybe this with a catalyst like that, maybe this one could be interesting. Definitely worth watching here. FCEL. This one's always on our list. Nothing good. Look at this nasty daily chart here. Again, just nothing great at the moment. Let's head down over to CHFS, penny stock. Next one, SAEX. I think this is a foreign stock as well. Either way, just look at this pre-market. Look at this daily. That's not anything you want to be involved with. Nasdaq gainers, SAEX, same thing. TNXP, we know is garbage. EHTH. This one here, what kind of stock is eHealth? Not sure what kind of stock this is, but it's gapping up quite a bit today. Doesn't have a good pre-market activity, no volume, so we'll just skip it. CASA, CASA, at the moment, 58,000. Has a very choppy daily, not the greatest, lower price stock. You do have a nice gap down here we had a couple of days ago. What's the float on this? This could have some potential if it wants to break out of this area we have here. So 31 million shares float. I would like to see if this can get some volume. Right now it doesn't have volume, but if it gets some volume, it could be a good potential to try to get to the bottom of this gap down here. That could be interesting. You have a lot of room to run up here. This could be a good one, guys. If it hits our scanners, we can tune into this one. So I'll be looking out for that ticker if it's a turbo breakup. SNOA, nothing going on there. NIO, we looked at already. FNJN, also no volume. ITRM, no volume there. Team also has no activity, no volume. Last one on the list, BLCM, also not doing anything great this morning, pre-market activity-wise. So Norm, let's go back over to the markets for today, ending the week. Anything that is going on that we should be aware of?
No, not a whole lot going on. These headlines about coronavirus and everything going on with it, they keep coming out, and that's kind of held us in this pattern the last few days. We are, right up against all-time highs. We're sitting up 0.25% on the SPY, and all. Excuse me. I couldn't thank you. I couldn't hold that back. The only thing really economic data wise we have today is manufacturing and services PMI flash PMI at 9:45 a.m. So it's kind of what's going on today.
All right, perfect. Okay, so this is what we have so far, guys. Let's get your help. What else do we have on here? Let's make some room over here.
Man, well, you gotta do Tesla, because Tesla is the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh yes, of course. How can I not think of Tesla? Tesla should be on the top of this list every morning. Again, volume is there already, and I don't know. I'm bullish bias on it. I mean, I think this thing just continues to rip. So
I think it's just taking a breather for a little bit here.
Yep.
Another one that really looks good on, especially at a daily, is Apple. It looks like it's it looks like it's just coiled. Sitting at all-time highs as well.
Yeah, so
then
you did break out all-time high here as well, so that's good.
Yep. And then one more is Facebook's kind of in the same boat. There's several on my list. If I come up with anything I really fall in love with, I'll shout it out as well.
Yeah, I do like Facebook, man. It's been winding up for a very long time. Well, not a very long time, but the last 3-4 days. And again, they had a very nice day yesterday. The confirmation that it's holding this level one more time here. Again, this looks really good for a possible pop here. All right, and let's take a look at
Netflix. You got to look at Netflix too. Netflix had just an amazing day yesterday.
Yeah, Netflix traded very well, very clean. I mean, look at this candle here. Jeez, this thing is just beautiful. And also, it's not just how great this candle is. If you look at the intraday, we looked at part of it in the morning. It was just very, very clean. So good possible continuation on Netflix today. Giving back just a little bit here. So we'll see if you can get above. If it gets above the previous day close, you have some nice room to run here. All right, let's look at the chat, guys. Let's see what we have here. Let's start over with Ella's giving us AVGO. We have looked at this one in the past. AVGO at the moment. What are we doing here? We're up 2.9. Volume is starting to get going here. 78, not quite over 100,000. This is a very high price stock though, 329. And what I don't like about this specific stock is it doesn't get the volume like a Tesla does, right? You look at a Tesla, you see the volume this stock is getting at a very high price. You're not going to get that with AVGO. Not saying it's not going to be a great stock to watch, but I'd rather watch something that's going to give me a little more movement, a little more volatility, and this is probably not going to be the one that does that. The spread's a little bit high right now. Maybe that's just because, again, two things, of volume and also pre-market, right? It's not the market open, but I don't expect that to get any much better than it is right now, or maybe a slightly better, but not as good as you can have on like a Tesla. I mean, Tesla's spread is just unbelievable when it's at the market open. It's been so tight for a stock that's trading at $500. So that's my thoughts on that one. But Ella, if you see something good on that one, definitely give us a shout. So they do have news, Danya. Danya, they do have news today. What's the news on AVGO? Well, you look at that. Apple, we do have on our list, guys. I think this one looks great. Looks like a possible pop. What else do we have here? Let's head down. AMD we have on our list. NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a good possible. Doesn't have the volume right now. This is breaking out nicely of this area as well. So NVIDIA could be a good possible also. I do like that one. NVIDIA, let's throw that on there. All right. So AVGO had earnings is what I'm hearing. Is that what we're hearing on AVGO? Yeah, so if it has earnings, yeah, if it has a catalyst, it could be nice. Again, I'm just not a fan of this stock really, so we'll have to look at it. No, we'll throw it on here as a possible AVGO. Let's see how it actually trades out. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Steven. Steven, it has a deal with Apple, so that could be big. Yeah, if AVGO has a deal with Apple, that can actually be big, and it can you can definitely get something good out of something like that. So definitely worth watching. That's a very strong catalyst. ADP, anything with Apple, Amazon, anything attached to these big companies are gonna get some headline. They're gonna get a lot of movement. So ADP, guys, this one here doesn't have the volume. Only 340 shares traded. So again, not much activity right now happening on this one. ADPT. Oh, this is one you meant, ADPT. I'm assuming. But if it's ADPT. Secondary offering, yeah, that news is really not tradable. It doesn't trade very well. We've seen a few of those throughout this week and last week. It's just not the great catalyst for a stock that has volume when it's a secondary offering. Yep. Yeah, thank you guys. So I'm looking over at the YouTube chat. Yeah, so AVGO signed 2 deals with Apple. Yeah, so with that, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that. If that's the case on this one here, we definitely worth watching. That's a strong catalyst. LK for continuation play. Let's see. LK, so we do have some volume here. Pre-market's not looking all that great, but we know LK doesn't have a great pre-market action usually, right? So that doesn't mean much at the moment. Could be worth watching. I don't see it moving much a lot right now. I do like the fact that we did bounce from this 41.25 yesterday. A lot of you guys took a long here for the for a squeeze. Here is getting into a tough area on the daily. Here right now, I mean, it has resistance all over here, but with the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. It looks like it has less resistance to move down to less support toward the bottom. So maybe a short play would be nice here, but we'll have to see how it opens up. Right now, I'm not seeing anything all that great on the daily. It just seems stuck between these levels. So we'll have to look at it again, see how the pre-market looks and the volume, if it gets any better later on today. We looked at team, guys. So team is on here. What's on our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers? Yeah, here it is, NASDAQ gainers. So team is up. It doesn't really have the volume. And we looked at this stock before, guys. This stock is not always, but most often than not, it is on our gappers, our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, and it doesn't trade very well. It's a very choppy stock. So I just tend to avoid it. We have so many other stocks today with some catalysts on here. Like AVGO, which I just found out they have a deal with Apple, so that could be great. I'd rather watch this one than watch Team, right? So that's just my thought on that. PCG. Oh, PCG. Yeah, we had PCG yesterday on our huge list, and this one also put in a pretty decent day yesterday. So today doesn't have the volume just yet. Starting to get going here a little bit. Pre-market looks a little bit crappy at the moment, but that's normal. But I think PCG has another squeeze in it, just because it's been holding slowly, just grinding away into closing this gap. Actually, pretty much closing this gap here. One of the many gaps down that this thing had. And also look how nicely you got above this area of resisting 13, right? So it got above that here. It held it, and now we can get a good continuation out of PCG. So again, another one that looks great, guys. I just can't add any more on this list. Let's just put PCG here. Let's put it down here, and then as we fine tune this list, we'll see what we can scrape out of here that doesn't look great. Actually, let's do that now. So since we have a little bit of time before 9 a.m. Eastern time, what Norm will do his announcements. Let's look at INTC. I do like, guys, great volume. We'll keep that one. BYND, you have to watch BYND. It's been trading so clean and so great, so this is good. AXP also has earnings on. This was a good one. Earnings is gapping up nicely as well, so worth watching. Snap, I'm gonna take off because Snap is it's just too choppy. Doesn't trade well. I'm gonna remove that one. SYF, I do love the gap down, but there's another banking stock that might not trade very well, so let's remove this one. AMD, I like this morning. Great volume, 830,000 shares traded already. So we'll see if this is going to hold this small little gap that it has right now, or are we going to come back down to that previous day close. Tesla is a must watch. Apple is a good possible. So let's keep Apple down here. A good possible. Facebook, I'm going to remove for now. Could be a potential for the scanners. Netflix is interesting. I think Netflix could be a great possible as well. Let's throw it down here. Netflix. Nvidia doesn't have volume right now for that. That's the only reason why I'm throwing this down here as a possible. And Nvidia. Let's throw this down. Let's remove it from here. All right, so now we have a little more manageable list here. So we have Apple is good. Let's remove Apple from here. Create no confusion. So we have INTC here, BYND, American Express, AMD's great volume, Tesla, of course, and Apple possible breakout here towards the long side. On the possible side, we have Nvidia. Netflix looks good for continuation. Why do we keep this one on here? I'm going to remove this one. Yeah, it's a pharmaceutical stock. I know this is the one with the stuff going on now that's kind of getting a lot of noise, but we're going to remove that one for now. NVAX, I'm going to definitely remove this one. Just doesn't trade very well. Let's get rid of that. AVGO, let's see how that continues to develop. So we'll keep it here on our side list. LK, good possible, and PCG, a good possible. Okay, so now we got a better, more manageable list. We can work with this. All right, let's look what else we have. TNXP. So TNXP is a stock that's always on this NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, guys. It's on here really almost all the time. And it makes top 10 quite a bit. But if you look at the way the stock trades, it's very horrible. You're going to get the volume. You're going to get up to 30%. But overall, the actual price action is brutal on this stock. I don't even know if it's a penny stock. It trades like one. When I say penny stock, I'm talking about really low float. Yeah, 716,000 on the flow. So again, penny stock really trading under a buck. It's just not worth watching, especially when you have these other beautiful stocks that you can trade. You know you're not going to be caught into any of these pump and dump situations. You're going to be able to manage your risk accordingly and be able to not get faked out. There's a lot of fake outs that happen in these type of stocks that are trading at that price range. All right, we're 9 a.m. Eastern time, guys. Let's go over to announcements, and we'll come back and fine tune this list a little bit more and see what we can get out of here. All right, here we go. Oh, Storm had to restart his computer. He was having issues, so I will do the announcement for now while he comes back. So here, guys, as you know, we have the Dash Replay feature. Take advantage of that. It is with the BBT demo account. So if you have a BBT demo account, there is a forum link that Abio is going to provide to you. You can go in there, download that version, and start practicing Dash Replay. We truly believe, guys, this is the next level of enhancing your learning curve and education. Being able to go back and replay the action on what something did. It's a great way to it's a huge advantage to your journal. So you're adding this to your journal is going to make you a way better trader. It's nothing better than going back and looking at the live action. You can't record everything, right? Recording everything takes up a lot of memory, takes up a lot of bandwidth from your computer. You don't know when the move is going to happen. So now you could just take a screenshot of your entries and go back and replay the action here with the Dash Replay. Upcoming event webinars, guys. Next week we have the very much awaited Nash and Andrew day trading options basics. So they're going to talk about some of the basics of options trading. Again, they're not going to get into huge advanced technical things on trading, but overall for our community, this is going to be great. I can't wait to see some of the basic stuff they're going to show us here. Nas has been killing it with his day trading options, so looking forward to that. Jonathan Katz's mental prep and routine, so that's going to be coming up the following week. We have Mike Bellafiore as well from SMB Capital giving us a nice topic. Cannot wait for that one also. And then Ed Martin, guys, is giving us a two part here. Trend trading part 1 and part 2. So a lot of material on there from Ed Martin. Looking forward to that as well. I got a lot of stuff going on. I am so glad I did my webinar early on before all these names are coming out. So I'm looking forward to all the excitement and also information we're going to be getting out of these webinars. All of these are recorded, guys. So if you cannot make the time and dates that these are scheduled for, they will be posted in the Education Center. Upcoming meetups, February 2020. The date is still to be determined, but Andrew's going to be in Dubai. So if you're in the area, please head to the forum and sign up that you are available to meet in February 2020 this year. And they will set a day and pick a place and hopefully have a nice meetup there. So we have, guys, check out the 1 week trial discount, pre-market code 24. Try us out. You have to be part of a community if you're day trading. If you're day trading, you have to be part of a community. It's so boring to do it by yourself. You should definitely try it out and see if it's something for you. And even more so, if you're trading all day. If you're trading all day and you're on this computer all day, you want to be part of a chat room where you can communicate with other people. So definitely try it out. It does not auto renew. I hate when people have these things where you try a trial and then you don't like it, you forget about it. Next thing you know, you have a charge the following month for the full price. We don't do that kind of nonsense. So definitely give us a shot. Follow us on Twitter, guys. At Bearboot Traders, at Carlos MBBT, and at Norm BBT. Keep up to date with some of the stuff that we're posting on there. And aside from keeping up to date with the stuff we're posting, it's just to connect, guys, really. You can DM us, you can ask us questions, we're reachable, you can get in touch with us that way. So this is a great way to keep in touch with us. All right, let's get over to our list. Let's remove this here. And let's see what we got going on here. So right now, let's look at INTC. We'll do some levels for this. This is gapping up nicely, 5.1. 1.7 million shares traded right now, so definitely worth watching INTC this morning. Again, they had some really good moves before this earnings call, this earnings release. So somebody knew something, because this right here doesn't make any sense. So this looks pretty good here. I like the way this is trading. It can really go either way here, holding that 66.10. Let's go back. Are we at all-time high with INTC? I would assume so. With the way the market's been trading, everything's just been so strong since the beginning of the middle of last year, really, and towards the end. So again, yeah, August right here, this one kind of bottomed out a little bit, and this is all-time high. Not all-time high, Thor, back in 2016. I'm not going back that far, so I would consider this 52-week high, and we will just leave it at that. So it's very old levels. We do have our highs and lows here. We do have some pre-market highs and lows from the last 2 trading days down here. And a stock like this that has moved up so much, you want to be careful with the whole dollars, right? The 65.50, the 68 bucks. You want to be careful with that. Obviously, you don't have anything most recent up here going back to 2016. So definitely be careful with that price action. Looking for areas where you can see some possible change in direction. BYND this morning, great pre-market activity actually for BYND. Aside from this candle here with some huge volume, you do have a nice flow in the pre-market activity. Our high of our pre-market, I'm going to move this up towards this 24.50. We'll mark that down there. And 135.26, I have it on here. I'm going to keep it on there because that level seems to be very important for BYND. So right now, your highs from the last 2 trading days, which are these 2 here, are marking that 135.26. But look how we tested that before here as well. So I'm going to keep my level on there, 135.26. 131.79 was probably a high of a pre-market, so we'll remove that one. We have our high of our pre-market now sitting at 124.49. I do want to mark down this day here, this level from this date, 129.64, basically 130 on here. I'm going to mark that down towards the top. That could be an area where you can have some resistance if this thing is going to squeeze above this 124.49. Now notice BYND has been doing something the last couple of days where opens up, sells down very drastically, then comes right back up. So guys, on this stock, you want to wait your 5 minutes. Don't rush into this one. It moves too wild. You don't want to be caught in a nasty squeeze or a nasty drop. Just wait for it to settle down. Give it 5 minutes before you take a trade on this one. Now, if you see something before that and it looks great, your indications are there, by all means, take the trade, right? You have to trade your plan, but from looking at the history, you want to wait that 5 minutes. AXP this morning has some good earnings, I believe. So this is up right here at a 135.36. We'll mark that down. The low of the pre-market is already on here, the high of 2 days ago. So that's good there. Let's see what we have here towards level, towards the top. Let's just go over and see what do we have. We are all-time high with this one or not? Let's see. I don't want to go back to 2006.
I believe you. Yeah, I believe you are, man.
All right, good. All right, I'm not going to go back that far out. So let's zoom in here. All right, so all-time high on this one. That's great. Pre-market activity, guys, for this type of financial banking type stock, right? It is a credit card. It looks pretty good. This is a great pre-market activity, especially for a stock in the New York Stock Exchange. So I like the way that's playing out there. So you really only need this level, 135.37. You have your highs and lows down here and your previous day close. Do not need to add any more. AMD, guys, looking very nice. I'm going to mark down this pre-market high here at 52.88. Towards the bottom, you got plenty of support, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. I am hoping this thing holds here and gives a great opportunity. What I like most about AMD at the moment is the volume. When we do have above 700,000 on AMD, we get some really good moves out of it. I think that's like the magic number here. 52.12 low of the pre-market is holding here now and doing a nice little bounce. So definitely gonna keep an eye on this one. Tesla, guys, is holding on to this previous day close. You do have plenty of levels here. Do not need to add any more highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You are hitting all-time highs in the last couple of days. This thing just continues to just take off. Let's just recap, right? Nice run here. I mean, we had a couple of green days, some minor red days. Not even these red days are not even pulling back. They're gapping up and just kind of selling off a bit. Not even big pullbacks. Your first pullback happens here to this moving average, holds that, another pullback here, and then just continues to do the lightning bolt, right? This thing has just been very strong. So cautious in shorting this stock. This is another one too that people are taking profits, finds a bottom, and then takes off. So just be aware of that with Tesla. Apple, guys, I do like the way this is setting up today. We've been waiting for this possible breakout, and today might be the day that it does that. It's just been coiling up like Norm was mentioning earlier, and we're sitting right here creating new all-time highs with our pre-market high of 320.66. That's higher. Yep, all the way up here, 320.66. So we'll mark that down there. So we'll see how Apple reacts. Do not need to really add any more levels, guys. We're all-time high. There's nothing else up here. And towards the bottom, highs and lows last 2 trading days. You do have a nice level here I'm going to mark down because it's just sticking out here. You have the support and you have the resistance here. So that's a very nice level, 309. I don't think we'll get there. I don't think we're going to have an easy time getting through all these support that we have down here. Some possible, guys. We're not going to do levels for this one, but just to be aware of them. NVIDIA's gapping up nicely, 1.4. It doesn't really have the volume. It has a nice gap. But not great volume, which is kind of a little weird for this type of stock because it is a stock that's very heavily traded. Here is Netflix. Again, had a beautiful day yesterday. So again, they had earnings, I believe, 2 days ago, and I thought they were good earnings, if I'm not mistaken. But again, don't
Yeah,
recall.
it was. They had pretty good earnings, and then they sold off after that. That they were the night between that red candle and the big white one that you have marked,
Okay,
and
yep.
it started out lower and then just took off.
Yeah, so this one again, beautiful day yesterday, and also not just how green it ended here. If you look at the intraday, it was very clean. Today, possible continuation here on Netflix. AVGO. So this one, how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna put AVGO up here. I was not a fan of AVGO until you guys told me they have a deal with Apple. So that is worth watching. Thank you for that. That's why I love the community because I don't really watch news like that. I'm more on all the technicals. But you guys keep me up to date, especially Norm. And Norm, you are a lifesaver when it comes to all this information. So we truly appreciate that. Makes our job a lot easier in the morning when preparing. So here, low of the pre-market is 326.92. Our high of our pre-market 331.87. So let's bring this down right here. All right, so we have that. We have a nice gap here as well, so that's good. We do have resistance here at 322.63. You got several days opening and closing around that area, so I'm going to mark that down. Now, let's see, what do we have above this 331? Are we at all-time high here? Seems like we are. Yeah, so we are. All-time high here, guys. If we can break through this 331.90, there's really nothing else here stopping this from going a little bit higher. All right, so that's AVGO. Let's look at the rest of our possibles. We have LK. LK is a good one as well, guys. Breaking down here a little bit below the previous day close. Let's get some levels for it. Now, LK has been trading so clean. Yesterday had a beautiful squeeze, guys. Sold off a little bit and then just took off nicely above the VWAP. So don't let the pre-market fool you. The intraday has been very nice. So we do have a level here at 39.20. You can see the resistance and support here. Also resistance in this area here as well. Above that, in case we get over our high of our pre-market here, which is marked by the high of yesterday, right on there. In here, no, you don't have a good level in here. There's too much choppiness in this area. Maybe 47.64. Maybe 47.64. It's a minor level, and the reason I say that you have a test here, you have a start the day opening here, closing and opening right in the same area. So that's some kind of importance around that level. You can mark that down just to have it on your list. And then last one but not least, PCG, guys. PCG might possibly break out of here. I think it closed the gap already. Yep, basically close to the last gap down that it had. Well, no, the second to last, because it has so many gap downs. This thing has been just beaten up pretty bad. We do have some room to run if we can hold this 1410, this low of our pre-market here, and squeeze above that. So this could be exciting. We do have a moving average here on the daily, 200, I believe. Yep, 200 finally catching up with us. Because I mean, if you go back and you see the drop here, I mean, it was not pretty, guys. This thing was trading at 50 bucks. The news came out that they caused that fire. They had a hand in the faulty equipment, and look at the drop here going down all the way to $5. So could be a possible breakout here. I will be looking for this one in our scanners. Doesn't have great volume right now. Had great volume yesterday, so that volume could start trickling in. Be on the lookout for that. Folks, this is what we have. I think we have a really good day. I'm gonna just scan through our gappers list here, see if we have anything that's popped up that looks good that we might have not looked at yet. STM, I know it's a foreign stock, doesn't trade very well. This IIPR, I'm not sure what that is. Let's take a look at that. IIPR. Yeah, I'm not sure about
I
this
think that's
one.
a read.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. SYF is another one that we took off. This was a credit company, financial company, so it doesn't look all that great. Could have some potential, but doesn't trade very well for the most part. All right, folks, that is what we have. Thank you guys for joining us on YouTube. Again, we appreciate you guys being with us throughout the week. We know you have options, so we appreciate you guys tuning in to us. Trade safe today. It is Friday, guys. We have a short week. Not a day to be a hero. You want to trade cautious, be disciplined as you want to be every day, but most importantly on Fridays, so you can go into your weekend, know that you traded well, and have a peace of mind as you're hanging out with your family and enjoying the time off. So take care, guys. We'll see you 8:30 Eastern time on Monday. Have a great weekend. Trade safe and take care.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. See you Monday morning.